Okay, so I want to talk about what it means to be a tank in general, like what tanking means for the game, and how people don't understand it. I believe tanking is probably like the most important and most difficult position to play in the game. And I don't really have any quality tanking gameplay, but I mean, I found some somewhere. But this was like pretty recently, but I found some. But as people generally want to play DPS a lot, and I mean that's understandable. It's flashy, it's interesting, you know, it's fun, but people do misconstrue what is most important in the game. And I personally think it's tanking, because people forget what the job of a tank is, and people confuse what the job of a tank is and don't understand it. So in my personal current diamond, low diamond opinion, former master opinion, I'd say that tanking is like not about taking damage, but it's about blocking and avoiding damage. Blocking meaningful damage and avoiding unnecessary damage at that, you know. It's like a game of chess, especially when you mirror matching it. You know, it's about what move is the right move here. What position is the right position to take here? Where do you go on the high ground? Do you keep the low ground and stand, you know, cut off a lane? Do you get aggressive here? Do you play passively? I'd say with the lower mechanical skill that it takes to play some tanks, I would say it's easier to keep track of ultimates and cooldowns, which is something that you should be doing on any character at any given time. But I would say that it's something that you 100% should be doing on a tank. You should be keeping track of cooldowns, like that right there. Like, I knew that he had his Earth Shatter, and I was paying attention, but I just didn't react to it for some reason. Like, I remember that happening to me, which is how I let myself and the team down. We end up stopping them on second. Stopping them at the third. They never caught this point. They never like got it. But you know, I wouldn't say that my tanking was the difference maker. But I also was like not completely feeding, you know. But I wasn't like, you know, blocking everything and anything. But I will say that, you know, the reason why I chose Reinhardt for certain was because I did have some Winston gameplay, but I'll say Winston is a lot more difficult to understand, you know, what to do. Okay, for here, perfect example. Instead of me aggressing the Sombra there, who I knew could have just got away at any moment, instead of me getting aggressive and trying to harm her, I instead put my shield in front of the Ana's face so she could not take any more damage, which that damage would have been meaningful to her, because she could have just died. Like, the Sombra could have just ignored me entirely, hitting her in the face, and just killed her. And that would have been detrimental to the team. But instead, I blocked that damage. You know? So I'd say that tanking is probably the most difficult in my opinion. But people get confused. I'm also inclined to what am I saying? Another step of like tanking, or rather not step, another like dimension of it would be like making space for your teammates to do things. Like, okay, for example, when I was on the second point, when they were capping the second point right there, I was pushing forward to allow my teammates to take space for my teammates to get positions to fight back. I went up there by myself, but even so, that was with contesting the second point in mind. That was what I was supposed to do. I could not just stand at the choke, and wait on them, I can't just wait on my squishy teammates to make the first move all the time. Like, sometimes they can do that, but 9 times out of 10, I should be the person dictating the state of the battle, basically, or what positions we take, what movements we do, and things like that. Or you could be like, off tank type character, like Hog or something, and you could take an angle to land your hooks consistently, therefore bringing attention to you and not your Genji, doing damage to the enemy in the back, or your Tracer who's in the spawn camping. Like, they can't leave their current position to go help, because if they do, it could harm them in the immediacy of the area the space that you taken. Or they gotta make the decision to leave the Tracer and whoever she camping be, or leave the Genji to do what he does. And also, if you have your teammates in the fight, do not wait around for them to get a pick. Alright, let's say, for example, if McCree pop his ult somewhere, don't matter where it is, if he pop his ult and they know he popped it, this is your opportunity to take space, because in the minds of the enemy team, the McCree is trying to wipe the whole team out. And you can make a move on that. Or if D.Va throws her bomb in, it don't matter if they gonna block it. It doesn't matter. But this is your opportunity to move in. D.Va throws her bomb in, you take space. McCree pops his high noon, you take space. Genji uses his blade, you take space. You aggress on the enemy team with things like that. And that is a problem that the lower ranks have so much, is that they're afraid to move forward. And one more thing I'm gonna touch on before I leave. Reinhardt is literally the best tank you can play against Brig. Believe it or not. Brig can't solo Ryan by himself. By herself. She can't. If it's a 1v1 situation, Ryan wins there every time. It's typically not a 1v1, but generally Ryan has people with him to help him out with that. Generally he brings along Zarya a lot of the time, D.Va, Ana. That stun he could take. He could tank that and then heal all the way up to full. And that's when you take space, because you don't have that stun cooldown. That's when the dive characters get in the back lane, because you don't have that stun cooldown. So that's the last thing I want to talk about with that. I'm planning on doing more of that, but I don't have a lot of time. So good luck out there with that, and go get some SR.